Hello, all of you awesome people, and welcome back to another episode of our very tall Sicily campaign. I am Ben the Bold, you all are awesome, and let's go ahead and get started. So I was kind of taking a look at our government, kind of in my time off. And so, first of all, I like my ruler. He's kind of awesome. Our our heir is okay. But I was thinking, what if we tried to change things up a little bit? I was specifically looking at some of our decisions, and I kind of like the idea of becoming a plutocratic monarchy. So what would happen there? I would get two civic ideas, and one religious idea. So I was looking at, first of all, I have some new ideas that are available. I could go ahead and get morale of navies up if I wanted. I could, that one's very tempting, the national manpower up by 10%. This one I think is the most tempting. I would probably, if I did decide to stay in my current government form, I would probably keep the martial ethos with morale of armies up by 10%. And then also change from what I have now, which is it's this one, ordered retreat, to siege training, siege ability up by 15%. However, I was actually looking at some of my civic ideas, and I really like the national citizen output up by 15% and national slave output up by 20%. Both of those are amazing, and I kind of think that I maybe want to take those as well. And then I would also get a religious idea, which these aren't as spectacular, but maybe I would go with monthly ruler popularity gain, or primary culture happiness. That would be good. Loyalty of subject states, I would definitely do that one. So I think I'm going to look into maybe switching to a plutocratic monarchy. So what would I need to do that? Let's find out. One, I need 40 stability, which I have. I need a civilization level greater than 60, which I also have. But I need Sicily to enact infrastructure policy. So that is actually one of my laws, and it is right here. It's also very easy to go ahead and hit that button. It's going to make me lose monthly general loyalty by 0.05 per month, but it is also going to increase my national population growth and help my monthly governor loyalty, which I'm not super worried about monthly governor loyalty at all. But I think if I hit this, I could also go to anti-piracy effort, which would give me, I would go here. I would do anti-piracy edict. Monthly general loyalty up by 5% to kind of wash away the effects of this infrastructure policy. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this button. It's going to drop me below that 40 stability mark, which is, unfortunate because it means I can't hit the adopt plutocratic monarchy because I have below 40 stability, but I will one day be able to hit it. It's fine. I also think I'm going to do something a little drastic. See this army? I'm going to go ahead and disband it. It's going to cost me 13 gold to do so. But I think I'm going to focus on... So, fighting this war against the Teletantians, it made me think, maybe a strong standing army on Sicily is not necessarily the best way to do this. Instead, I should start transitioning from a strong standing army to a booming economy, which allows me to, when I need them, buy mercenaries. So I'm not necessarily saying that I'm not going to have any standing army. I'm just saying a smaller standing army. That way I don't have to rely on my own manpower quite as much. I can just buy mercenaries when I need them, which also means I'm going to need to make sure that I keep a heavier treasury. So I'm definitely going to want to start building up a war chest. So let's go ahead and hit that unpause button and just kind of get going. Looks like I need a researcher. Oratory advances up. Let's go with you. Your loyalty's a little higher. You're going to lose some loyalty. Let's see if there's anything. Well, you're probably going to die not too long from now before your loyalty drops below where it should be. We, of course, have some scorned families, but I don't really care. I can't wait until the Livy update changes how they handle families. We're getting 16 gold per month. That is really good. We're going to try to optimize that even more. We can get some inventions. There's no real need for me heavy infantry. Population capacity up by 10%. That would be useful because I'm starting to hit kind of close to our population capacity. Really just in Syracuse, which is good. I'm trying to make Syracuse a big, strong city. And indeed it is. What else might I think about doing? Army morale recovery. Freeman happiness would be good. Manpower would be good as well. But for now, I think I'm just going to keep building up that war chest that I have. Let's see, you probably just want me to trade away for grain. Of course, of course. I also think I might try to put my son in command of an army. Where is my son? Is my son already doing something? He is the Archgrammatarius. So let's just take a look at our offices. Where is he? Oh, he's here. He helps my national tax rate. He boosts it by 9%. That's great, but this guy will boost it a little bit more. So I'm going to go with him. Now my... Show offices. Now my national tax rate is being boosted by 12%. That is amazing. And I know that I have a very good general in charge over here. In fact, I think I'm going to put myself in charge of the larger army that we have. And put my son here in charge of those 15,000 troops. Now, I'm going to go ahead and send him adventuring. So basically, he's going to take those 15,000 troops and turn them into mercenaries. But he will hopefully become a little bit stronger during that time. So I really am going to have to focus on peace right now. Mostly because I only currently have 24,000 troops at my disposal. Of course, my economy is humming because of it. I'm going to go ahead and turn down my fleet maintenance. There's no real reason for it to be super high. Looks like I will have a rebellion in 40 months. That's okay. Let's see why. There's a risk that some provinces... Negative stability hurts me. It looks like it's just going to be down. The two Sardinian countries, they are the ones that are disloyal. I'm not super worried about them. If I have to, I will go smash them again with my... with my feudatory armies that are just kind of chilling in Corsica. I mean, they're got to be good for something. I'll use them. As well as it'll be an opportunity for me to hire some mercenaries and use my army. Let's see. I could... let's see. Who do I want to gain 10 loyalty? Who do I want to lose 20 loyalty? It really seems to be a wash. I'm going to go with the one that gives me the option to have a friend. I like having friends. Friends are good. I'm actually going to go ahead and... I know I just moved my army maintenance to low army maintenance, but I don't really see a reason to do that. And instead, I'm actually going to drill my army. That is going to increase, because now I have so few troops, that's going to help me increase military experience to a pretty high point, a little bit faster than if I had a bunch of troops, which means I should be gaining military experience faster. So it costs me military experience to hire mercenaries, but if I'm gaining it faster, I think I can recoup those losses. And hopefully that means that if I do stay at peace for a little while and don't have, or am able to use my feudatories as a, you know, kind of a wrecking ball in themselves and not have to use my own manpower and my own troops, then I'll be able to move down and not have to buy more mercenaries. Then I'll be able to move down some of these traditions a little faster to make my troops just a little bit better, the ones that I do have. I'll lose some popularity. It'll be okay. We'll go ahead and just improve opinion over time. See if that will eventually tick down their likelihood to rebel. I don't think it is. I think I'm probably going to have to go beat them up again, but we'll see what happens. Of course, when I do get the stability, I'll go ahead and actually hit the... Well, no, I can't stab the pig quite yet. Don't have the political influence to do it. I think I will eventually hit that stab the pig button. That'll help my stability go up a little bit faster. Once I switch my government form to the plutocratic monarchy, then I will get that religious loyalty of subject states up by +10. That should help reduce the chances for a rebellion. Also, if I do get a rebellion, maybe I'll hire my own son to his mercenaries. That could be interesting. Let's go ahead and get an invention. I think I'm going to go ahead and get Freeman Happiness up 10%, or 5%. I know that I am trying to build up a war chest, but I think gaining 23 gold per month is pretty decent. I also am going to spend a little bit of that money and get another trireme. Maybe 2 more. I like it. As far as expansion, I still want to change Epirus from a tributary into a feudatory. And I will probably... Ooh. Looks like the Talutantians are at war against the Macedonians. Maybe now is a good time to move on them. Of course, I have a truce. Let's go ahead and let's do... I'm actually going to go national tax rate up 10%. Or by actually not just 10%, quite a bit. Let's see how much money that makes us now. Okay, maybe it'll change over. It doesn't seem to have gone up very much. Maybe it'll change over at the monthly tick. And it did not. Okay, well, interesting. Alright, we have some available decisions. We can embrace a plutocratic monarchy, and I'm going to go ahead... Ooh, lose 30 stability. I don't really want that at the moment, so I'm actually going to hold off. I'm going to, when I can, hit the stab the pig button, and that's going to increase my stability. When I get a... probably, I would love to get it close to 60 if possible. But once I start getting it closer to 50, I'll probably go ahead and hit that button. That's once again going to cause a rebellion to ensue, but... Now, part of the reason that these two tributaries are disloyal is because they have so many pops. So another war with them actually may not be the worst thing, because... we're just going to destroy their pops, move them to Sicily, and after all, we are trying to make a very tall Sicily. Let's go ahead, change some oratory researcher. I'll put you in charge. That should make your family a little happier. You're still losing a lot of loyalty per month, but maybe that will change. Let's give him a chance. He's ready to rule. Let's give him a chance. We are 27 months away. If we do start to get like less than a year away, I will move my army, as well as maybe buy some mercenaries, move them towards Corsica so that they can have an easier time moving over to Sardinia. Let's look at the mercenary situation. So, like, these are my sons, and these are actually my troops. I haven't played around with mercenaries too much. I usually like to have a large standing army, but I think it could be a interesting way to play tall and play small. Go with a smaller standing army and instead just buy a bunch of mercenaries whenever I need them. Even if I do... They will be black flagged when I buy them at first, like for... Oh, the Olympics concluded. Better luck next time. I don't know if I've ever won the Olympics. Like, you know, if I buy them, I guess they will start out black flagged until I can move them to my territory. Or maybe because they start out in a subject state, they will not be black flagged already. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. I don't want them quite yet. Let's see if we can actually just send them a gift. If that will help us at all with our kind of disloyal tributaries. No, it doesn't seem so. They don't seem to like us, and there's not much we can do about it. It's because they have such a high number of pops. As you can see, they have one of them has 158 pops that will join the rebellion. One of them has 164. Basically, it's just a little bit over. It's 31.28% of my population is from a foreign culture group and living in disloyal provinces or subject states. So it's actually going to be good if I can come over here and just kind of smash them up a little bit, move some of their pops to my land. Look at you. Why do you have 36? I guess you bought some more people. Okay, perfect. I actually would relish the opportunity to buy this army. It's going to cost us 11 ducats per month, but again, if I have a large war chest and am making plenty of money, I'm not super worried about a 11 ducats per month. I will have to increase my fleet maintenance. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's going to take me to 17 ducats per month. We're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. Alright, war will break out in 18 months. When this fleet becomes fully functional and goes back to full morale, I'm going to go ahead and move these 24,000 troops towards Sardinia. I could, because I think right now they are disloyal because they believe that they can, win this war. I don't believe that they can win the war. One, because they won't have the opportunity to mercenary spam like the Talutantians did. The reason they won't be able to is because they would have to buy mercenaries somewhere else in the world, but those mercenaries would be black flagged until they could bring them over to their country. But if you look, I am going to have naval dominance around the island of Sardinia. They are kind of trapped, don't have a chance to bring mercenaries to their island, whereas if I were to do the same thing, I could send my fleet out looking for mercenaries, buying them, moving them to Sicily, and they would be there to fight for me. So this just means that maintaining a strong fleet for the Sicilians is even more important than it was before. Alright, war will break out in 15 months. I'm going to go ahead, have you all just load into some boats. That's going to stop you from training. And I'm going to move you towards Corsica. Oh, and of course, now that we might need them on Corsica, some of our feudatory armies seem to be ready to head back to the mainland, even though they were unwilling to help me out in a war there just a few years ago. Oh well. Ooh, a bountiful harvest. That's good. People should rejoice. That's going to gain 10 stability. I'm going to take that. I want higher stability. I'm also going to... Nope, can't hit the stab the pig button quite yet. If I could get it around 30 or around 60 stability with a pig stabbing, or maybe I should just go ahead and adopt a plutocratic monarchy right now. I'm going to lose 30 stability. I'm going to do it. Does that open up any new decisions for me? Once I'm a plutocratic monarchy? No, it does not appear so. At least not yet. Let's go ahead and... I think the very first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and get that loyalty of subject states up by 10. Let's see, and indeed that seems to have stopped the rebellion, at least for the time being. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my army back. And now I will go ahead and get one of these civic ideas, and in this case I'm actually going to do national slave output up by... No, I'm going to do national citizen output up by 15% first. And then whenever I get 20 political influence, I will go national slave output up by 10%. This is also going to help my commerce income, which is good but not great. I get most of my income from taxes. Commerce, because I am such a small country at this point, and I'm not going to be getting any larger, commerce value isn't as helpful as... Although, because I'm just not exporting as many goods. Although I do have some surpluses. And in fact, maybe I should concentrate on getting more surpluses. I'm going to go ahead and train this army some more. And I guess I am now okay if they want to pile off of Corsica. Wonderful, I guess. It's amazing. Those armies are there when I needed them the least, and decided to leave when I needed them there the most. But, oh well. Let's go ahead and look at maybe another invention to take. I think I'm going to go ahead and get this population capacity up by 10%. That sounds good to me. Oh no, I've had a death. Doesn't seem to be someone super important. I'm sure we'll all live. Guess I'll go ahead and just become friends with as many people as possible. I could lose 155 gold, but gain 10 stability. Also, there's a 50% chance that I become more popular. Or I could lose 5 stability. I'm going to go ahead and just pay the money. I have plenty of it. And gain some stability. That puts me back up at a decent stability level. Of course, I would like to be, you know, above 50 if at all possible. Look at that, we're gaining 0.52 military experience per month. That is great. And since we only have one army, our average military experience is going to just keep rising, keep rising. Perfect, 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 perfect. Unfortunately, our political influence is only rising at 1.45 per month. I don't love how slow that is. I feel like I've definitely seen it faster in years past in this campaign. Let's look at our culture map mode. This Hispania, I am definitely ready for you to convert your pops. Governor. Like, part of me wants to create this, turn this into a city, even though it produces grain, and I definitely don't want to lose that. It's one of my best grain producing states, but part of me wants to turn it into a city just so I can build a bunch of temples in it. Speaking of buildings, let's see. I could force a bunch of pops to assimilate by building a bunch more theaters here, building a bunch more theaters here, but it's assimilating at a relatively quick rate. Ooh, and I have gotten an oratory advancement that's going to increase my civilization level a little bit. Also, I get this tributary income up by 10%. I'm taking that right now. I love that. It's going to mean my tributary income is now going to be quite large. Since I am at peace, and will probably stay at peace for quite some time, I'm going to go ahead and mothball my fleet. Go to economy, fleet maintenance down. That's going to give me 22 ducats per month. That's wonderful. You, of course, want my grain. I don't want to give it to you. Man, it is taking me quite some time to get that last 20 political influence. Look at that, 610 pops just in these two. Well, actually, I don't know if it counts all of my tributaries in those 610 as well. No, it doesn't. Yeah. Getting closer and closer to being able to take that last idea. That's good. Let's see, any buildings that I think I might want to build, especially here in Syracuse. I think I'm good for aqueducts for the time being. I might actually just build another tax office to maximize, or, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and build another academy to maximize the 62 citizens that I have here. If I'm going to build a tax office, it's going to be over here. Let's build a tax office here. Looks like we need a new civic researcher. Ooh, you look to be decent, and you're gaining loyalty. Perfect, perfect. Alright, I finally have enough political influence to go ahead and grab this last idea slot, and I'm going to go with national slave output up by 20%. Let's make sure there's nothing even better. Commerce income up, no. Population capacity up by 25%, no. Build cost is nice, but not amazing. I'm going to go with national slave output. That's also going to give me one more capital import route, as well as commerce, national commerce value up by 10%. So commerce is getting a little bit better, but of course having more efficient slaves means more tax income. I could, is there anything, let's see, anything like local tax? No, you're not willing to trade that away. What I would really like is some paper, or even some earthenware. You would be willing to do it, not willing to give up their capital bonus. But it says you are. You are my little vassal. You should do it. Alright, an incendiary slave speaks in Hispania. I'm going to just go ahead and say he's useful. It makes me lose some political influence, but... Any other inventions that are useful? Build cost down by 5% could be nice. National manpower up. I'm going to go ahead and I think grab the national manpower up. Even though I'm not necessarily focusing on my manpower at the current moment, I'm thinking I'm going to work a little bit more from using, what you call them, mercenaries. I also should consider where my next avenue of expansion should be. Unfortunately, it appears that Carthage has North Africa pretty well locked down, because all of these are feudatories. They would be able to just overwhelm me if I did try to go to war with Carthage. I don't want to go to war with Carthage. Their navy, I believe, still outdoes mine by quite some degree. 164 ships. Yes, it does. That is for sure. Let's actually look at what the Carthaginian economy looks like. They only have 28 gold, because they spend a lot of it. So they at least don't have enough money to just like mercenary spam me. And they only have 89 cohorts. But if you look, they have a lot of feudatories that help out with the just number of cohorts they have. Plus, I wouldn't be able to get my troops to Carthage because their navy would successfully blockade mine. I will think I'm just going to get this up to a nice round number 80 by building a... Let's go with another megapolireme. I love those things. They let me do a lot of fun stuff. Alright, I could change my religion. Don't want to do that. I'm just seeing if there are any other decisions that I might want to take, but no, I think I'm going to stay with a plutocratic monarchy for the time being. I like all three of those ideas a lot. You know what I actually want to do? I want to take a look at the ledger, and I want to see who has... So, the Marians have actually the largest navy, but I'm actually not too far down there. So really, I think I could definitely take on Rome's navy, I believe. I could also... Now, I have a very small army comparatively, but the amount of money I gain, I actually feel pretty decent about that. So... I feel like we're doing pretty good as far as in comparison to some of these other, even much larger countries. Our goal, after all, is to become very tech advanced, which may or may not. I don't know. Do my techs should apply to mercenaries I hire, right? I would assume. Let's check and see if there are any trade routes that I could use. No, doesn't seem to be. Let's actually check this out. I'm gaining 29.2 gold per month. Or, not gold, food per month in this province. So it might actually be okay to start trading away just some of the grain that I have, knowing that I can, of course, call it back at any time. I did get a civic advancement. That's going to take my population capacity up by 2%. Also, of course, just a gradual increase in national commerce income. Let's see, any cool inventions that I'm going to want to get? Tribesman output, no. National tax up by 5%, yes, I'll take that. Also, probably that migration speed could be interesting. I'm going to go ahead and hit the national tax rate up now. I almost am going to get another military advancement. When I do, I think I'm definitely going to get that siege ability up. And maybe even that army movement speed. That looks good. Ship recruitment speed down by 20%. Or ship recruitment speed up by 20% could be nice. I'll go ahead and accept this offer. Again, if I start noticing food troubles, I can simply just cancel it. I don't necessarily want to trade away the grain from Sicania, because it is barely gaining food per month. So I'm going to leave that the way it is now. Alright, so martial advancements. I'm going to go ahead and get a couple of those inventions, specifically siege ability, as well as... Oops. I'll do that one, as well as army movement speed. See, we're getting 28 gold per month. That is very good. Once again, we have a rebellion that seems... And once again, it is our lovely friends over on the island of Sardinia that want to fight us. That's okay. We have a plan to deal with the Sardinians. In fact, I kind of think maybe we should just let this rebellion fire and go deal with them. They at this point now, unfortunately, do have a little bit more tech, although you don't. I think we can deal with their 23 cohorts. You have 23. You have 32. So they're going to have 50 cohorts. It's going to be a tough nut to crack, although I think we will be able to do it. Although they, down here in the south, actually have heavy infantry, which is annoying, and I wish they would trade it with their overlord. If this wasn't, if I hadn't put so many kind of arbitrary rules, ooh, I'm going to take this as well as this. That's going to make my improve opinion plus my diplomatic reputation up. I'm going to focus on making myself better liked in the international community. Now this means I can hit that improve opinion, and I can actually improve it a little bit more over time. I might just be sinking political influence into these two countries when I shouldn't be, because we're going to fight a war with them no matter what I do. But I'm going to give it a shot. Again, if it gets down to around 12 months, I will increase my navy maintenance and start moving towards Corsica with my army. I will also probably hire my son's mercenaries. There's 36,000 troops. Now, do mercenaries, and I should know this, but I just hardly play with mercenaries, so if you know this, please comment and let me, and I will believe whatever you say, honestly, but do mercenaries, I would assume that when I lose mercenaries, they don't pull from my manpower. That just doesn't really seem to make sense. You are... I don't really want to trade those... Alright, the return of... Oh, it's the return of my son! Many long years ago, Archigathos was sent out into the world with an army of Sicilian soldiers. Sadly, few stories were heard during this time. Indeed, few even recognized him upon his appearance at court. However, he assures us of his newfound tenacity of resolve. Tales of deeds and misdeeds aside, he has returned in good spirits, and with a sizable quantity of wealth, we ought to be wary of his newfound standing in our court. So, he does unfortunately have monthly loyalty down by 0.5, but his monthly wealth is up by 5. He has only gained... Oh, he gains 1 marshal, but he left as a 5 marshal general, and now he's an 11 marshal general. That's not terrible. Let's see what his... Oh, and I guess he just deleted those troops that he was with. Oh well. Let's see what his actual loyalty... Is it increasing? Oh no, he's no... He will become my primary heir again, I'm sure. Let's take a look. Yeah, so... Oh wow. He's plotting quietly. What's he plotting? Well... I'm sure that once he becomes... I'm pretty sure he will very soon become my primary heir again, and he will be all for me. Let's go ahead and... Let's get the omen for research points, maybe? No. Mercenary army maintenance down could be good. Morale of armies up. You know what? I think I'm actually going to do this mercenary army maintenance down because I am planning on hiring some mercenaries soon-ish. Although maybe it would have been a better idea to go ahead and just get the tax up. Go ahead and put my nephew. Oh, can I not put my son in charge here? Why not? Are you doing anything else? Well, I guess I can't put him in charge. Instead, let's go ahead and put you in charge. Let's take a look. I also might want to put someone a little bit more advanced in charge here, because that's mercenary army maintenance down. So let's put my nephew in that position. We are so close to having enough military experience to go ahead and get another military tradition. That siege ability looks good. There's no real reason for me to invest heavily in heavy infantry, though. Or even heavy cavalry, because I don't have any iron, which has been a major pain in my side for this campaign. We'll take you... See, we're about 21 months away from any kind of rebellion, and of course my troops in Corsica have decided to abandon me. I think before I even moved my army of 24,000, I'd probably move this mercenary army of 26,000 over. They have 11 heavy infantry, so I'll use them as my battering ram, and maybe a lighter 10-stack siege army that I will create as my sieging army, or maybe even just you. Or better yet, my feudataries will run back over to Corsica and try to siege down some of the provinces. About 19 months. Unfortunately, we've had a death. We'll put you in charge since you have a little higher loyalty. I'll go ahead and become friends with that tribal chief. We didn't win, but we'll gain some popularity. It's always good. Alright, so we can get a new military tradition. However, I am about to want to hire some mercenaries, and to do that I need 10 military experience, so I'm actually going to hold off. So that siege ability would be nice. So would archer discipline. Heavy cavalry maintenance cost down. I don't care about that because I don't have any iron to build any heavy cavalry. Mercenary maintenance down would be great. Yeah, I'm actually not super concerned about any military traditions in the future. After all, these two traditions, at least in the short term, are kind of useless to me because I have no heavy infantry. So I'm actually going to disregard my military tradition for now, and I'm actually going to go ahead and hire this mercenary stack. Going to go ahead and go to full fleet maintenance, and I'm going to put these mercenaries into this fleet, and we are going to not sail away quite yet because I don't want to get caught up against some pirates and lose a bunch of men for no reason. So I'm assuming that mercenaries do have my own tech level and are also have all my inventions, so I'll go ahead and just gain some tyranny. So I'm actually going to go ahead and do this heavy infantry discipline up by 10%, just because I think it will help the mercenaries that I have. I might be completely wrong on that one, but I'll go ahead and try it. Because these mercenaries do at least have a bunch of heavy infantry. Unfortunately, we have lost our Grand Admiral. Now I will put you in charge. And let's go ahead and move this fleet to Corsica. Because it does look like we have a rebellion that is imminent. Although, maybe not. Basically, the risk is due to some provinces having subjects. So basically, 19.83 of the population is from a foreign culture group and is living in disloyal provinces. But our threshold is 19.69. It's only down because of our negative stability below 50%. So if we, get like a stability event, then maybe this rebellion could stop. What I need are more of my culture pops. Which means I think that for now, I'm going to go ahead and switch this to cultural assimilation. I know I don't have a ton of pops over in this province. Sicilia. I think it's Sicilia, not Siculia. But I might be able to convert just enough. 19.71. It's going to be close. Yeah, so it seems like I'm not super worried about where this army is getting its manpower from. So this 25 sack's just going to march here. It's mostly just going to protect Corsica until some of my allies can get in. I also could just simply plop a fleet here. Yeah, so it's losing men per month. But I'm not losing men per month. Alright, so perfect. So I'm not worried about where its manpower is coming from. Which I didn't think I would have to. It's just I don't really play with a ton of mercenaries, which is probably definitely not the most efficient way to play. But alright, so Omen power up by 2%, 2.5%, and I have a couple inventions that help. Plus wrong culture group happiness up by 2%. I'm going to go ahead and take that right away. Because maybe, if just maybe, that's not going to halt the war. Look at that. The threshold, they have 0.8 unruly pops, or 19.8% unruly pops, and if the threshold is 19.76, so if we do fight a rebellion, it's going to be, just by the skin of our teeth. Ooh, in fact, here's a stability gaining event, and that will end any talk of a rebellion. That is great. Well, I'm going to go ahead and march you back onto these ships, bring you back to Sicily. Bring you back to Sicily and get rid of you as a tribute, or as a mercenary group. So unfortunately, that just kind of wasted a lot of our money, but is it a waste? Go ahead and get that Omen power up 5%. I love strong Omen power. And ours is pretty strong right now. Mercenary army maintenance down by 15.14. Although I probably should have gone with the tax increase. I'm ready for Rome to get in a war with someone to its north. I don't love how advanced they are tech-wise. They don't rival us quite yet, but I don't love how advanced they are tech-wise. I would love for them to go and take some of these uncivilized territories, just get a whole bunch of tribesman pops and slow down their tech growth just a little bit. I also wouldn't mind if they would turn on their ally of Etruria, because I think I could actually take Rome with all of my vassal states just one-on-one with them. It's the province of Etruria that I'm worried about. Or it's the country of Etruria, just giving it them those extra 46 cohorts that give me a hard time. Well, would you look at this? The Tautantians have been broken up. The Tautantians have been broken up, indeed. Yes, I'm just going to go ahead and declare war on this country and try to turn it into a feudatory. So indeed, I'm actually just going to march that that mercenary army that I had, put them back on some ships, and march them straight to Greece. Oh, indeed. This is huge. Unfortunately, I have actually been going for a little over 45 minutes, so I am going to go ahead and stop it for today. But look forward to our next episode when we do go to war and try to take some more feudatories over here. And you, this country of Dalmatia, you are my culture group, so I am very interested in trying to take you as a feudatory, because after all, because you are my culture group, I hopefully won't have to worry too much about you being super unruly and causing a bunch of rebellions. And I am trying to gain more and more power over in the Hellenic Peninsula region, in Greece. Basically, I want as many tributaries and feudatories as possible. Either way, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. We have decided to kind of change our strategy a little bit. We know we can't compete with everyone in terms of manpower. After all, we are very tall, but that doesn't mean we have enough manpower to compete with Rome. Instead, we've kind of decided to transition a little bit more towards being very economically powerful and hiring a bunch of mercenaries. We'll see how that works. We'll see how this works out for us. Either way, I am excited to see what happens. I'm just kind of testing things out. I'm enjoying this campaign. I hope you're enjoying watching it. If you are, hit that like button, and I will see you in the next one.